Hey guys, Benny back with another video on the CascadeScents fragrance station. This time it's for my full review of this Dolce Gabbana The One Eau de Parfum. And like indicated in the title, yes, this is my video submission for the Jeremy Fragrance Review Contest. So I'm really excited to do this because it's a great opportunity. So shout outs and thank you to Jeremy for that. I'll leave a link to his contest details video if you haven't seen it yet right here. And if you haven't seen my first impressions for Dolce Gabbana The One EDP, here's a link right here. So I'll give you 3 seconds to do either of those things if you want. 3, 2, 1. And if you waited for that, then let's get on with this full review of this Dolce Gabbana The One EDP.
Hitting European shelves in 2015 and the US in 2016, Dolce & Gabbana's The One Eau de Parfum concentration was released thanks to popular demand. And just like the 2008 initial Eau de Toilette release, the notes are still coriander, basil, and grapefruit at the top, ginger, orange blossom, and cardamom in the heart, and tobacco, amber, and cedar in the world-famous base. Shoutouts to the One EDP's nose and Olivier Polish for doing something I really wanted out of the scent. And that's keeping the notes the same so he could formulate an EDP that smells almost entirely like the EDT it's supposedly based on, which is really what happened here. I mean, it's about time we saw more of that in the fragrance game. I know Jeremy and a lot of other YouTubers have gone on about popular EDTs that smell noticeably different in its EDP iterations, which is super annoying, especially if there weren't any qualms with the original EDT scent. Not trying to disparage anyone who likes these EDP versions more, but for me, if anything, I'm rather ecstatic that they didn't change much for this specific EDP. As far as stages, the One EDP still has a really reserved coriander and grapefruit in the opening. Really wish the grapefruit lasted longer in this iteration because it smells a little bit fruitier and sweeter now and not as sharp. I think it's great, but it and the coriander gets overwhelmed by the heart notes almost as soon as possible upon spraying onto my skin. So in comes the cardamom and ginger notes with a nice spicy kick that feels pleasantly amplified. And I'd say up to the 30-minute mark you get mainly that, which really emanates, and it's fairly inviting. Then in comes the warm amber and tobacco notes, which really take over. And in my opinion, the resinous nature of this duo, along with some of the cedar, is way more pronounced than it is in the EDT iteration too. So this allows for even a more prolonged longevity out of the base. As far as the presentation for this 150 ml quantity of the One EDP, you have the now plain black box, which couples well with the also now more mysterious and darker bottle, capped off in black as well. But onto my ratings. If I had to give the presentation aspect for the One EDP a mark out of 5 stars, it gets a 4. I've always loved the look of the One line, and with the introduction of this EDP, I love this one's look too. I can't say enough of how this blacker, more potent look for the bottle makes so much sense for this juice. Just like the juice inside when sprayed onto your skin, the bottle keeps getting darker as well, losing its more volatile and lighter qualities towards the heart and base of it all. I think it's really fitting, so I'm naturally a fan. As a result, the One EDP gets a 4 out of 5 stars for presentation. Now moving on to my scent rating for the One EDP, here it gets a 5 out of 5. If I could define the opening, it's short and sweet, and a part of me wishes it lasted longer. But that's okay, because with me, it gets the really good stuff ASAP in the heart and the base. But mainly it's that resinous amber and tobacco come there. Now I've never smoked a cigar, but the tobacco in the One EDP smells like a really fine, not yet lit one to me, which provides a warm masculine feel to the scent. And the type of amber used in this fragrance is also fairly sweet, almost honey-like. Overall, there's nothing scent-wise I dislike with the One EDP, so here it gets a 5 out of 5. Up next is performance, and the One EDP gets a 4 out of 5. Thanks to the generosity of my skin's chemistry, I don't have some of the longevity issues that other people have been experiencing with this one. I'm simply doing the standard sprays of each of my wrists, both sides of my neck, and one on my shirt. As a result, I easily get about 8 to 10 hours of longevity from this juice, which is definitely an upgrade from the 4 to 5 that I used to get with the Eau de Toilette. Now as far as projection, here's where it could be better. I'll maybe get 90 minutes of decent projection emanating from my skin in a temperature controlled environment, and no more than an arm's length before it becomes a skin scent. Same for sillage, sadly, again only another measly 90 minutes. This really annoys me since it's an Eau de Parfum concentration, but since I'm in love with getting at least 8 to 10 hours of longevity without using much effort in hunting the scent down with my nose, and since I love this juice's ability to cut through the cold weather, the 1 EDP for me gets a 4 out of 5 stars in performance. Next category up is versatility, and the 1 EDP gets a 5 out of 5 yet again. I already mentioned its ability to last within cold weather, but since it's so light in those areas of projection and sillage, you can actually get away with wearing this on a cooler summer day or night without it feeling cloying whatsoever. Still though, the more woodsy notes aren't the most summery per se, so if anything, avoid using this in the most extreme of heat. This is simply more suited towards winter and any time during the spring or fall. As far as occasions, it's great for casual use, formal scenarios, and for work as well. That being said, I think I'm really liking this one as a date night scent lately. If you were to wear this around your significant other, it would come off as not just pleasant and warm, but sensual and seductive as well. Also, since it feels equal parts sweet and warm at times, I think it's both exuberant and mature in nature. So anyone of any age can pull this off in my opinion. So because of its wide potential usage in respect to anyone of any age, in any season and or occasion, the 1 EDP gets a 5 out of 5 for versatility. And lastly, my rating for compliments, the 1 EDP gets another 5 out of 5. It's not even close, the 1 EDP is my most complimented scent ever. No, you don't have a long window of opportunity projection wise if you're looking for compliments, but in that 90 minutes of projection for me, I've not only received really flirtatious compliments from women liking the scent so much, but I've also received positive feedback from men too who admire its boldness and sheer masculinity. So since both genders are such huge fans of this scent whenever I've worn it, the 1 Eau de Parfum gets a 5 out of 5 in this department. And now adding it all up, the 1 Eau de Parfum by Dolce Gabbana ties Bleu de Chanel as my highest rated fragrance to date with a 23 out of 25 total stars. Now I understand that a lot of you are still craving for more projection out of the scent, but a part of me is okay with this fragrance's reserved nature. If it were a projection beast, then it would be too cloying to wear in the heat, and it would probably no longer function as an appropriate work scent. So to be honest, I actually prefer that maintained versatility over projection almost every time that I consider wearing this stuff. At the end of the day, this thing is called the 1 for men Eau de Parfum. In my head, if something were to be called the 1, it'd be something that was great that you could reach for in almost every situation. I think that's what Stefano Gabbana had in mind when designing the EDT, and I think that's what Olivier Polge didn't want to lose track of when creating this Eau de Parfum, and I wouldn't say he did whatsoever. So all in all, if I could describe this fragrance in one sentence, it's "You're still the one." Yes, like the Shania Twain track. I say that because despite an Eau de Parfum concentration, it really is still the one. Same scent and similar journey in each of its stages, and the same versatility and a similar performance in regards to its projection and sillage. I just feel like Polge took the exact same fragrance oil verbatim that was used in the Eau de Toilette and simply put a higher percentage of it into this Eau de Parfum, and that's all he did. Much to the delight of a lot of us in the fragrance community as well. But the big question is it worth buying if you already own the Eau de Toilette? In my opinion, it is most definitely. But don't blind buy this stuff just yet. I'd suggest getting a decant or sample from someone if performance is what you're primarily after if you are quote unquote upgrading from the Eau de Toilette. But if you don't already own the Eau de Toilette and you are looking for a people-pleasing scent that is versatile for all seasons and occasions, that is also unique and not remotely generic, then look no further than right here in the 1 Eau de Parfum by Dolce Gabbana.
There it is, guys. I really hope you enjoyed my review. If you really want to show me that love, please let me know by smashing that like button. And if you want to see more great fragrance content out of me, you can subscribe to me as well. So hopefully I see you next time, and until then, take care, guys. Bye now.